It has been 1 year, 7 months, 1 week, and 6 days since we decided that we would drive the Pan American Highway. After 2 rebuilds of our van, over a year of living in it, and 1 very long shakedown trip, we have finally departed on the first leg of our epic journey. We now have 3 days to soak in as much of Vancouver Island as we can and explore the last few roads on our map before we drive our little home on wheels onto a ferry to sail 16 hours from Port Hardy to Prince Rupert, British Columbia. There are 2 very special people we need to wander into the mountains with first before leaving the island for good. It's not long before we're followed by a jacked up little Toyota pickup that some of you may recognize. If you don't, I'll give you a hint. We're being stalked by a Yeti. This little pickup belongs to Matt and Stacy of Toyota World Runners, and tonight we'll spend an evening parked around a campfire with them. One last chance to swap stories, laugh, and cheers to a life full of adventure.
You'll be like, wow, another unique experience.
Every day, it's either something to celebrate or something to celebrate.
We've returned to a spot shared with us by our mutual friend Todd. Todd, if you're out there, hey man, and thanks.
I need to learn how to play.
Not to say it's not great bread.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever. It's not
I don't know. It kind of looks amazing.
Hey, what are we eating? Hey, what
Italian sausage gnocchi and an arugula salad.
Dang. It's right there. Oh my gosh. You hosers excited? We're excited. At least one of them is.
Little did I know that Matt's favorite food is also
gnocchi.
gnocchi.
Oh, so easy to
Potato
eat.
and pasta. It's so easy to eat, Alex said.
That's the perk of gnocchi, everyone. It's so easy to eat.
Totally unlike salad.
Yep.
Oh, hey there, guy.
Hey guys, is that your camera?
Oh my gosh, that's
Wow.
the camera. That's the moneymaker right there. Actually, this is the moneymaker. Right there. That's pretty. First bites.
First bites. Okay, we're going in.
Sorry, there's not much of a salad getting utensils. Do you want me to tilt?
I want a gnocchi review. He likes it, folks. It's
The
delicious.
texture, the flavor, the spice, and a little sweetness. Totally great.
Yes.
If that's not a BC sunset right there, I don't know what is.
Potatoes were meant to be pasta.
Yeah.
If you don't know about Matt and Stacy by now, they've just completed the Pan American Highway. Over the past 2 years, they have been prepping for and driving from Nanaimo, BC, all the way to Ushuaia, Argentina. They are both heartfelt friends and an inspiration to us. The next morning, we woke to perfect mountain silence, but it was bittersweet as we would once again be departing our friends. It seems whenever we get the pleasure of spending time with Matt and Stacy, it's in passing as we head in opposite directions. When we first met, they were just about to start their trip, and now that they're finished, it's time for us to start ours. However, I think you can expect to see our paths converge one day. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, winky emoji. After a day of last-minute errands and travel, we arrived at a spot nestled in the trees, nearly directly on the water, overlooking the Johnston Strait. As we travel north of Campbell River on Vancouver Island, what becomes immediately apparent is the thinning out of civilization and the increase in wilderness. As this area sees significant annual rainfall, the trees are noticeably taller and the undergrowth considerably more thick. I'm sure it will come as no surprise that there is significant medicinal value in the sound of water. Research has proven that merely the sound of waves lapping on the shore reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and encourages a sense of calmness. Just a fun fact for you, I guess. The last week has been, well, challenging to say the least. With a false start due to our faulty Starlink and subsequent wait for parts gobbling up the 2 weeks that we had planned to explore the island, a little water therapy will do my brain some good. And heck, maybe yours too. How you feeling about all of your recent bug bites, babe?
You want to see?
I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but you can tell us all about it.
I have about 30 bug bites around the hem of my socks. I was wearing pants all day yesterday, so...
So in other words, this entire summer is just going to be a Megan massacre.
Yeah, unless the old wives' tale is true, that if you just let them bite you, they'll eventually stop biting you.
And good luck.
Not confident.
Jeez.
These?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these. All right, we've got the makings of a casual Saturday morning breakfast. Homemade sourdough whole wheat sandwich bread with avocado smash, cottage cheese for Meg because she cares about her protein, eggs. Yeah. I mean, not really my height either.
Delicious bread.
What was your breakfast?
Delicious, of course.
My mom always used to say, food tastes better when you eat it outside. Ain't that the truth?
Just drove over this bridge and I saw something that was crazy. Oh, wow! That's a long ways down. The waterfall. What is it? The waterfall. Oh my goodness! It's huge. But look how far down that is. All right, let's keep on going.
Let's get there.
Yeah. We have found another thing to look at. It is very large and impressive, and I want to look at it.
Right in there.
It's an old excavator. Maybe it's one of those, I'm not entirely sure what it's called, like a tow line or a tram line or something like that. But that thing is huge. This thing is huge! This is so big! I don't know about you guys, but somehow I can tell that the road's been a little bit bumpy. As you can see, there's just stuff all over the floor. Yeah, we still haven't figured out that part of van life.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling. This heavy load got under your skin, hauling. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Round.
Is closed June 24th, 25th. What do you reckon? Right?
Huh?
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon it's pretty good. We even got a boat.
Yeah.
There ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the legs of your doubts, there's a heart gone out of rhythm and despair. Held underwater, fire for air. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors around.
What do we have here?
Herbie meatballs and rice pilaf and a salad.
How does she do it? How do you do it?
Magic.
Folks. Very delicious. I can't wait to stick it in my face.
Same.
Yeah. Bit of rice in there. Oh my god. So good.
A guy named Robert Louis Stevenson once said, "It is not so much for its beauty that the forest makes a claim upon men's hearts, as for the subtle something, that quality of air, that emanation from old trees, that so wonderfully changes and renews our weary spirit." I'm inclined to agree with him. Taking the time to slow down, breathe in the fresh air, and feel the world around me is the best and most effective self-care I've ever utilized. The next morning, we were welcomed out of our slumber by pattering rain on the roof, the sound of waves, and the fresh scent of sea air. It's our last day to wander about. We'll need to make it to Port Hardy, meet up with my parents, and find a camp spot for the night before an early rise to board the ferry to Prince Rupert. We stopped for lunch here, and wouldn't you know it, my parents are driving by.
That just happened.
I don't know. What's for lunch though?
Sambos.
Sambos. That looks like a good sambo. Hi, Johnny.
I saw those 5 minutes ago on the ground. I thought those things look disgusting.
She was born to be on camera. Hi, honey.
Hi. Everyone, this is my mom.
And I'm Dad.
Happy Father's Day, old man.
You're welcome.
Father's Day.
He's stealing the thunder. Rob's stealing the thunder.
When booking the ferry back in March, all reservations were sold out, so Meg put us on the wait list for any sailing in June. By pure coincidence, we landed on the same sailing as my parents on their way to Haida Gwaii. So, as an added bonus, we'll be embarking on the waterborne leg of our journey alongside my mom and dad. We spent our time in Port Hardy exploring along the beach and chatting about our exciting future travels. My parents, for their 40th anniversary, will be exploring Haida Gwaii for a week while camping out of their van. I'd like to take credit for inspiring their van life journey, but who am I kidding? These two are the OG explorers and the ones responsible for instilling in me my sense of adventure.
empty after 5 in the morning. And we're now going to the ferry to get in line to sail to Prince Rupert. I need coffee. Really need coffee.
Upon boarding this vessel, we embark on a 16-hour journey through British Columbia's Inside Passage to Prince Rupert, bearing witness to a world we never knew existed, one that is untouched, rugged, and 100% wild. Join us next time as we venture into British Columbia's northern reaches. This adventure is only getting started. Until then, keep on roaming.